So looking at this with the control circles to my left and the cable output to my right, it's thick black, black, red, white, green. There's two blacks, one of them is thick. They both go to the same pad, so it kind of doesn't matter. But yeah, Goodwill is they're ceasing their return. You can't take anything back at Goodwill, which sucks. You know, I'll buy stuff, and if it's broke, I'll replace it. Like typically, what I would like to do in this case would be take it back. I mean, now I'm stuck with fixing it. So where do I get the cable for it? From something else that I buy at Goodwill? Well, at that case in time, then I would like to swap the cables and take back the thing. You know, that's just kind of how I feel about it. But anyway, yeah, this is a Logitech F310 gamepad. I was going to play an Atari game called Adventure. There's a different, much more advanced version of that game. Whereas the original game had 30 rooms, I think, this version has 300. It's called Indenture. So if you're a fan of Atari Adventure, you want to check out that Indenture game. Anyway, I was planning on playing that today, and I got it working with it uses a DOS box, which just makes it more complicated to play the game. So I went through the process of getting it going, and then I'm like, I really don't want to I don't enjoy playing this game with the keyboard so much. I would rather play it with a joypad. And I'm like, I got one right here. And of course, I bought it from Goodwill and never tested it. And now I'm faced with doing this repair, which I assembled it, I reassembled it, and when I reassembled it, I took the cable and I jammed it in on itself and then plugged the USB in, and it recognized. After I got it recognized, and actually I had the Logitech app up and was checking all the buttons, and I moved it, and when I moved it, it lost connection, and I had a pop-up that said USB device not recognized. So that tells me that I believe it's the oh, you know what I could do? I could use this same cable. I can just cut it short. I don't have to do anything. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll unsolder it and disassemble. There is a way that they have assembled this with, you see those two zip ties on there? And that ferrite bead. There's a round barrel that's in between two zip ties. That ferrite bead. And then the stopper. So basically what I have to do is I will unsolder each point here and then clean that up with a solder sucker. And I use Goot wick and clean that up. And then so once I have it unsoldered and remove it, what I'll do is I will remove the zip ties, and then I will uncoil the wire from around the ferrite bead, this little barrel guy that all the wires run through it. And so then once it's all undone, I will measure the length of that wire. Let's say it's 2 inches or 8 centimeters, 6, however long. At that point, we will cut the cable at the kink, at the bend where it's broken, and then I will remove the outer shielding 2 inches or 6 centimeters, whatever I measured. And at that point, I'm going to tin the ends of each wire and do a test where you have to go inside of this and press down. You need 2 people for this test, you really do. You press on each connection, and then you go through and see if you get beep beep cont, and then you know the cable should be good. Once the cable comes up good, I'll run the wires exactly how they had them run through this ferrite bead, and then pop 2 zip ties on there. Oh, can't forget the little block. There's a block. So as far as that block goes, it'll just be a matter of, does it slide? It doesn't slide. So yeah, you're going to have to cut that on both ends and maybe run a drill bit through it and then force it on the cable. So this is a pain in the ass. It'll take me an hour, but fixing something like this gives me a great sense of joy. And that's how I do it. So basically this video started out as me filming a reminder for myself, the pinout, which I know I sound like a moron because the pinout's always the same for USB. But you got which way is it facing, and I don't always remember that stuff. But so hey, I hope you learned something. Probably not. I mean, this is really basic stuff, but fixing a wire in a broken controller, you can do it. And in this case, I'm going to reuse the cable, which makes it even less of a big deal. Hopefully, we don't run into the fact that the cable is broken in here. You would think it would be broken in here. Actually, I saw there's a little kink looking thing here. So there you go. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. My wife's home from work, so I gotta go and say hi to her, you guys. Peace.